Hey, good afternoon. Elaine Proby here, CEO of Proby Stacks Accounting. Welcome back to Tips from Elaine's Desk on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon, where we get all of the great tips on how we can maintain our business, of course, how to stay in business, how to continue to become successful at what we do. And guys, today we're going to talk about some tips for managing your cash flow and avoid common mistakes. Right? And this is so seriously important. Hit like and share in this video. Make sure that everyone gets this information. Cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. That's what we're going to talk about today and how important it is. Okay, so hit like and share on this video, guys. Elaine Proby here, CEO of Proby Tax and Accounting and Tips from Elaine's Desk. Hi, Rod. Thanks for jumping in here. And Richard, hey, how are you? All right. Hey, superstar. I just love it. Okay, guys. So we're going to talk about cash flow today. And I want to talk about 3 tips because, cash flow is the lifeblood of any small business. Got to have it. Without it, it is the difference between success and failure, right? So if cash flow is bad, then, of course, there's a chance that you can fail, of course. And if you are have a great cash flow, there's a chance that you're going to be more successful. Okay, so it is the lifeblood. So let's talk about 3 tips that will help you to manage your cash flow. And the first point today, guys, is you want to create a cash flow forecast. All right, that's a cash flow projection. So we have to make sure that we know what's happening in our business cash wise. Without it, of course, we cannot function. Like I said, it's the difference between success and failure. So you want to make sure that, and now a lot of times when you start your business, we talk about this all the time. When you start your business and you do a business plan, you do a financial projection. In that financial projection, you normally want to say how much money that you plan to get in and how much money you plan to spend on all the various expenses that's going to allow you to operate this business. So generally, you would have made this business plan. You would have talked about how much money you plan to make and how much money your expenses are going to be and how, what you plan to spend. And this, of course, is going to allow you to know how much cash is going to be left over. This is the number that we need in terms of being able to project our cash flow. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're not spending any more than we're making, because of course, if you don't have a proper positive cash flow, then it's a disaster, or it can create a disaster. So the whole key is having that projection, and without proper financial records, knowing what comes in and knowing what goes out, you will never know what's left. You will never know what type of cash you have for you to be able to operate successfully. Okay, so very, very, very important. The first thing is you want to create this cash flow forecast. You have to sit down, take the time out and do some projection, right? Every business does it. You have to do some projection. You have to know what's going to come in the next month, the month after next, 6 months, 12 months down the road. You're not going to know this for sure, but this is what you're going to project. And once you have this projection, guess what? You work towards it. You have a plan as to how you're going to achieve this, and it gives you all the incentive in order for you to work that plan in order to achieve the cash projection that you have planned out, right? So you must keep your records. You must know what comes in and out of your business, how much cash is coming in on a regular basis, how much cash is going out, what you project that it's going to be. And then, of course, once you know that and you have those accurate numbers, when your actual accounting and bookkeeping is done, you can then project what you plan to make going forward. Have to do this, guys. You have to do this, okay? You cannot survive in business. You cannot just go day by day and just expecting and hoping and praying that this is going to happen when you really doesn't even have any idea what it is that you're looking for, let alone how to get it, okay? First point, create a cash flow projection. Know what your income and expenses are, and so you know what the bottom line is, and then you know how much cash you have to work with, and you know whether or not you even have any cash to work with, right? Because if it's a loss, of course, then that becomes another problem, and you really have to take care of that situation. So that's my first point today, guys. Today we're talking about tips for managing your cash flow and avoid common mistakes, and that was the first point. Second point today, guys, hit like and share on this video. Second point today is, this is important. You have to monitor your cash flow regularly, right? And then you adjust your budget accordingly. You have to manage your cash flow regularly. You can't just do something this month, and then another 2 or 3 months go by, and before you know it, you look up, and then of course you're cash poor, and then you're having a catastrophe. You have to monitor it on a regular basis. It's so easy for us to focus on, are we making any money? Is there a profit? Well, profit and cash flow is two different things. You could be making a profit in the business, but if the cash is not coming in, right? If the cash is not coming in, it can create a catastrophe. You cannot neglect your cash flow, guys. So you must make sure that you monitor that cash flow on a regular basis, stay on top of it, and making sure that that money is coming in. A lot of times we can do work and we can send out invoices, and we know that there is revenue there. And of course, this business looks so profitable, but where is the cash, right? Monitor your receivable when you're sending invoices out. Is it getting paid on time? This is so important. You got to have the money coming in on a regular basis. So you must monitor that. You send your invoices out. They have to be paid on time so the cash flow can come in the business. You have to offer different types of payment to these guys, right? You make sure that the people can pay you in different ways. Now, before you send out an invoice, somebody drop a check in the mail. It may have gotten lost. It takes forever to get here. Now, there's so many quick way of getting your money. Offer different type of payments so that the money can come right away. Y'all know that you can send an invoice right now and the money could be in a bank account in less than seconds, right? So make sure that you have every different type of payment set up. Make it convenient for your customers or clients to pay you. And that's one of the best ways to do that, right? So you keep detailed records of your receivables, know who owes you money, and make sure that you stay on top of that. And then you also want to make sure that you schedule and you stay on top of your outgoing cash flow too. So figure out and make sure that you strategically plan how you pay your bills, because there's no point. This is financial, processes that people work on. There's no point in collecting. Let's say you collect $100,000 and then the next day you're paying out all of your disbursement. Well, if it's not due the next day, then there's no point in sending that money out. You want to keep that money, right? Keep that money, have it work for you, and keep that money available to you. And then you pay your bill when it's due, right? When it's due, you have to pay them when it's due, but then you have to make sure you strategically do this. There's a way to do this stuff, guys, so there's always cash available to you, okay? So very important, guys. That's the second point. Monitor your cash flow on a regular basis. Adjust your budget accordingly, and make sure you stay on top of the people who owe you money. Make sure that you get it in, because if you mess up on that cash flow, it can cause a disaster. You can run into serious, serious problems, okay? So, and that's not what we want. All right. So let's see. There is, do I need this lovely glasses so I can read that? Yes, sis. Thanks for I got to put this thing on. Thanks for the reminder. Love your service. Good job. And thanks again. All right. LA Foreign Designs stamp. Okay. And Lerner Smith, thank you for the hearts. Right. Thank you guys for jumping on here. I really do appreciate that. Foreign Designs. All right. So let's jump into the third point. This is so serious, right? Avoid overspending and keep cash on reserve. We all have a tendency to think that, oh, we're making money. There's money in the bank. There's cash coming in. And what do you think the first thing you think of when there's money in the bank? You're thinking, what can I buy? Maybe there's something else I can get. I could probably spend the money and do this and do that and maybe upgrade this or upgrade that. I mean, is it necessary? Is it going to assist the process of you making more money? Sometimes you have to evaluate that situation and see if that's even something you need to do right now, because you want to not overspend. Because once that cash flow is coming in, guys, you have to make sure that you keep something on reserve, so that in times when the cash flow is not coming in as planned, it's not going to be a catastrophe, because there's some reserve money there to function. We always have every month set some money aside. Every month, make sure there's something in reserve, and don't find something to spend it on, right? Don't find something to spend it if it's not necessary for the business to make a whole lot more money in a short space of time. Do not overspend, guys. Do not overspend. And I say this because, look, we are all guilty of doing that, right? Including me. It's like, oh, what can we buy today? It's it's just kind of human nature. We do it all the time. But We have to avoid overspending. We have to make sure there's reserve because everything is not going to go as planned. And we want to make sure that on the days or months when the cash flow is a little bit slower than usual, of course, there's going to be a reserve cash in the bank that you can continue to function. It won't interfere with anything. And once that receivables and that cash start flowing in, then you can replenish your reserve and everything just moves on very smoothly, right? And this is what we want. So very seriously important, guys, avoid overspending. And if it looks like there's money there, just make sure that you carefully and strategically determine what it is that you need to get, what you need to spend it on. And if it is something that's absolutely necessary to enhance the business right away, immediate gratification. If that is not the case, be careful how you spend that money. Okay, those are my 3 tips. Nice, short, and sweet. Very important. Let me go back and recap these tips, guys. This is so seriously important. Again, cash flow is the lifeblood of your business. So without it, it could be major catastrophe in so many cases. And not only that, it creates so much stress that it can really, really be disastrous for the business, right? And it's a chance between either making it or breaking it, right? So let's do this. Tips for managing cash flow. First one, create a cash flow forecast. You must have that, guys. You cannot run and operate a business without projecting what it is that you plan to make and what it is that you plan to spend. You have to sit down and see that, because why go into a business if you don't see yourself making that money and you don't know what it's going to cost for you to actually make that money that you want to make, right? So you have to do your cash flow projection, that forecast. You have to know what you're going to make and what you're going to spend, what you're projecting, because of course you don't know this, but you have to project it, because once you have that number that you project, if you say I'm going to make $100,000 next month, then of course you will have a plan to do that, and you're going to follow that plan to try to get to that goal, right? That's what we do. Second point is monitor your cash flow regularly and adjust your budget. Stay on top of your cash flow. Stay on top of your receivables. Make sure people are paying you on time. Make sure that money is coming in, right? So you have to be able to do that, because you don't want to not do it and then have a catastrophe when you're looking for that cash. Then you're not, it's not there, and you have a problem. Again, there's a difference between the profits and the cash flow. You can make a profit. You can send out invoices. You can do work and have money coming into you. However, if it's not coming in fast enough, that's where the cash flow problem comes in. All right. So third point, avoid overspending and keep cash on reserve. We have to have that reserve. Like they say, that rainy day money. You have to have some money in the hopper. If the cash flow is slow 1 month, whatever that is, you don't have any problems. You go to that reserve. You can continue to function. Don't just try to spend it on something that may not be necessary right away, or may not be bringing in the revenue on that expenses right that moment. If you can wait, do it. Keep that money on reserve in case you need it. You can always go back to it and then replenish that reserve when your receivables pop in. Go back and replenish that reserve. You don't want it to go down. You want it to go up, right? Every month, put something aside. Those are the 3 points today. Hi, Mr. Strong. Thanks for jumping in here. Hello, Elaine. Hi there. So those are my 3 points today, guys. So once again, I want to remind you guys that those of you who haven't started your business, and this is perfect because what we talked about here today is a part of starting your business and creating your business plan, doing that cash flow projection, knowing your financial, knowing how to read those numbers. And look, you have to have a plan. You have to have a goal. You have to, project how much money you're going to make. I'm going to make so much money in 6 months or by the end of the year and all that stuff. And that's exciting, because it keeps you motivated and it gives you something to work towards. Okay, so go to elainesdesk.com. And if you haven't started that business yet, or you need to take it to the next level, there's something in there that you need to, clarify in your mind. Go to elainesdesk.com. Check out that free webinar, guys, that's on there. There's lots of information. And then there's a course from Brainstorm to Business Success. This is where we talk about all the financial, how to read it, the cash flow projection, how you can create those numbers. And this is really exciting. To me, it's very exciting because it's one of my favorite parts. I like to talk about where we're going to make $1 million in the next 12 months and then come up with a plan to do that and all the marketing and all the stuff we're going to do to make that happen. This is exciting. It's exciting, right? This is where we go in business. All right. So go to lenses.com, and then at the same time, while you're there, don't forget to sign up for this business mixer. Business Mixer on May the 20th, guys. It's going to be powering your business forward and unlocking the keys to success, to business success. I always read that backwards, to business success. It's going to be a brunch in person. You get to have all your questions answered on the spot. It's going to be other professionals there. You can mix and mingle with, guys. Like I said, if you want to be successful, you got to hang out with like-minded people, people that are positive, people that have your interests at heart, people that's going somewhere. You know, you guys have the same goals, same aspiration. This is what you need to keep you motivated and keep you moving forward. So go to elainesdesk.com and sign up today. Make sure you're in there. All right. So we're going to have so much fun on that day and so much information you guys are going to learn. And if you are still unclear about anything, give me a call at Proby Tax and Accounting, 323-290-9034, or go to our website at probytax.com and book a 15-minute free consultation. Someone said, how much are you going to do in 15 minutes? Well, I can talk really fast in 15 minutes. You guys can ask your question really quickly in 15 minutes. You can get a lot in 15 minutes from me, okay? So go there and book 15 minutes free consultation. Guys, if you're still unclear about what it is that you need to do to get your business powered forward, okay? And so don't make sure that you do not miss the mixer on May the 20th. And for those of you, I have to bring this in, who have not filed your taxes yet, all right? We're getting down to the wire, down to wire April 18th. However, it's just not the end of the world. File an extension. If you was in a disaster zone in California, of course, you have until October 15th to file your taxes, so there's no need to panic. But get an extension and file, guys. And I always say this, if you have money coming back, try to get that money quickly. So you don't have to wait for April 18th to file your taxes. And if you do get an extension, you can file them right after. There's no point in waiting to the next deadline, okay? File it, get those monies back, and so you can reinvest that money. You won't get any interest from the government on that money, so don't leave it there. And if you owe, we can project forward. Just like we talk about cash flow projection, we can project any tax liability that you have and how to pay less taxes and plan for it. Because once you plan in advance, now you can take care of it, because it's just not going to be too late. At the end of the year, December 31st, then that's it. It'll be too late to do anything about it. All right. So with that said, I think we covered it all, right? 2023 is our year. I love that. This is the year we're going to make it all happen, guys. All right. I've got all my businesses ramped up. Everybody's excited. Everybody is ready to go. So that's what we're doing. And with that said, we'll be back here on Thursday. This Thursday on April the 15th. Wait a minute. I can't even see that. What's April? What's today? Look, I'm not even aware of what these days are. The 13th. Oh my goodness. All right, let's just moving right along. Understanding the power of delayed gratification. This is going to be amazing. Delayed gratification. Sometimes we're not aware of this and we get a little anxious and we sometimes get discouraged when we don't have gratification immediately. So let's talk about how you deal with that and understanding the power of delayed gratification. This is going to be so exciting. Come back here Thursday at 1 p.m. Let everybody know about this. Hit like and share. Cognac Barcelona, thank you for jumping on here. Laverne Smith, a very interesting information, important information. Thank you for jumping in here, you guys. Norman Strong, all of you guys jumping on here. Laverne Smith, Rod Smith, all you guys. Make sure that you come back here on a Thursday at 1 p.m. Hit like and share on this video. Appreciate all you guys for jumping in here. And with that said, you guys have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday afternoon and take care of each other. Take care of yourself. Thanks. Bye-bye.